Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to Fight Night 152. We've actually got Aspen Lad against Eubanks right now. You are joining us in the middle of a fight. We're into the second round. There's 2 minutes left, and at the moment, Aspen Lad is on the back of Eubanks. This is awesome. This has been a great fight so far. In fact, I wasn't even scheduled to start just yet, but I wanted to start a little bit earlier. I still haven't kind of got everything sorted. I wanted to start earlier just because of how great this fight had been. Lad looks like she's got a rear naked choke on Eubanks. Eubanks really fighting to get out of this. And she has. She's managed to move her body around. So Lad versus Eubanks. We're in the second round. 1 minute 20 to go. Lad is on top of Eubanks. 3 submission attempts by Lad. Obviously, these have fought before. Oh, look at these elbows. Elbows are vicious, man. Hello everyone, hope you are well. As I said, apologies, I am still setting the stream up, but I just watched the first round of this, and it was absolutely brilliant, so I thought, you know what, we're going to go live. We're going to go live. I'm sure there's people watching and enjoying this. 45 seconds left in this round. It's all Lad. I would say Eubanks probably took the first. 30 seconds left. This is definitely a Lad round. She is absolutely dominating. She's still on top of Eubanks. I will get to people in the chat in a second. I can see you're all there. She is just raining elbows down on Eubanks at the moment. Eubanks having to try and scurry away here. Big shot by Aspen Lad. I am a big Aspen Lad fan. I really do rate her. She's undefeated in the UFC. And she really, really pulled away then. We were really starting to see why she is such a big deal. Eubanks taking that first round. Aspen Lad taking the second. That was dominant. That was absolutely dominant. Right, if we bring up the numbers, let's have a look at those on screen. So Aspen Lad, 55 total strikes, Eubanks 32, but significant strikes. You can see that Eubanks has landed more significant strikes. They're just in the corner now. We're getting ready to go to the third. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed or you haven't joined us before, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe. We're here every week for UFC. Of course, we're here tomorrow for that big WWE event as well. Money in the bank. But we're getting ready for the third round here. Thank you very much, JJ. Really appreciate the support. Yes, Megan Anderson is fighting tonight. That's on the main card. This is still the prelims. We're still on the prelims at the moment. This is the final fight on the prelims. And I've got to be honest, tonight's card isn't the strongest. Not the most competitive, but this was a fight I was very much looking forward to. Yeah, I thought we would just start that little bit earlier. We are into the third round. Knew this was going to be competitive. I gotta be honest though, watching these two trade blows right now, both on their feet, this is absolutely brilliant. Aspen Lad is the one that's getting a little bit more success, driving Eubanks back. Eubanks, though, throwing a few shots back. Certainly standing ground, throwing in a head kick. You can see that Aspen Lad's face is starting to glow red here. She has certainly been caught with some good strikes. In fact, look at the significant strikes there. 44 now for Eubanks. This is good stuff. Aspen Lad coming forward. Couple of left jabs. Nice combos coming back from Eubanks. Eubanks, couple of shots to the head, couple of shots to the body. But she keeps getting driven back. I kind of feel like Aspen Lad's going to have the advantage if these two stay standing. Because Eubanks constantly getting driven back, but she's still standing in there. fires in a little knee to the midsection. Aspen Ladd replies with a knee of her own. They're in a clinch at the moment, so not many shots being thrown. It's going to be a tough fight to call this because Eubanks took the first, Aspen Ladd took the second. It's kind of been a bit 50-50 in the third. I feel like Aspen Ladd, though, was so dominant in that second round. I feel like she's probably got the advantage. But it wouldn't surprise me if they scored it for Eubanks. Pace of this starting to slow down. Still 2 minutes 50 to go. Both women still on their feet, just throwing fists. Not had many leg kicks thrown. Nice body shot there. Aspen Ladd trying to mix it up a little bit. Yeah, they really are trading blows. Not much of a defense by Aspen Ladd. She's kind of got her right hand up. Occasionally bringing up her left. But she keeps like dropping. I really feel like Eubanks has got a way in if she targets that left hand side. Nice little combos coming in from Aspen Ladd though. Eubanks is finding success here. Eubanks is definitely getting through. They kind of look like they're punching drunk, I've got to be honest. These shots aren't the cleanest or the crispest that I've seen. But they are getting through. They are getting through. They are getting success here. It is a very close fight. I do just feel like Eubanks is the one that's on the back foot, though. I do feel like she's constantly retreating. Aspen Ladd is the one that's coming forward more. And actually, Eubanks landing way more significant strikes. She's down on takedowns, though, and she's down on total strikes. 1 minute 15 left here. Let me know in the chat if you're watching this. This is such a good fight. It really is. She's looking for a takedown. Aspen Ladd grabbing the waist of Eubanks, driving her into the cage. Less than a minute to go. Aspen Ladd. I don't know. She's looking for a takedown. I don't know if she thinks that's going to sway it for her on the judges' cards. Fires a knee into the midsection. And again, knee into the legs. She's looking for that takedown. I don't think there's much Eubanks can do from here. So I think the fight's going to go to the judges. They're going to have to score what we've seen. I feel like Aspen Ladd might have just done enough. 10 seconds to go. JJ says, I'm watching. They're trading blows now. Wow, getting in each other's face as the fight concludes. Goes the distance. That was a great fight. That was a great fight. Honestly. That was so good. Really enjoyed it. Hello, Hussein the Rex. Yankee 3, fan for life. Hello, my friend. Welcome back. I remember you from before. Thank you for joining us again. Yeah, that was so good. That was such a great fight. Trading blows. I would say that was probably 2 rounds to Aspen Ladd, 1 round to Eubanks, but then Eubanks landed way more significant strikes overall. So I actually think it's going to be a tricky one to call this. I would love Aspen Ladd to get it. She's still undefeated. I feel like she is a good prospect for the future. I mean, Eubanks is as well, but I don't know. I would hate for Aspen Ladd to lose this fight. I just feel like it was close. If she's going to lose, then get destroyed. That's my feeling on it. If you're going to lose, lose. Whereas I feel like this was quite close. But she could lose here. She could lose here. JJ, thank you so much, dude. Hello, Thai TV, BFG Podcasts. I can see you, dude, talking about AEW. Well, actually, I didn't see you talking about AEW, but we can cover it in a sec. Unanimous. It's Aspen, lad. She's lucky. She is lucky. Eubanks walks away. I'm not sure she's happy with it, Eubanks. It was a great fight. Aspen lad wins. So, Aspen lad, 3-fight win streak. She's got more than that. They're just showing some replays here of her. Man, raining elbows. Absolutely raining elbows. Big win. Yeah, what does she want now? No call out by Aspen lad, so I think she's just happy with whatever she gets at the moment. Yeah, big fight. Big fight. Days didn't buy Undisputed Era. It was too expensive, so I bought Finn Balor SummerSlam. Yeah, brilliant. Elite 68 AJ or Velveteen Dream. Which one should I buy? I don't know, dude. Whichever one's your favourite. It depends what you've got already. If you don't have an AJ, then maybe go for AJ. The Velveteen Dream is a brilliant figure, but they're going to do more. And they'll probably do something a little bit more elaborate. This is quite a standard Velveteen Dream. So there we go. The official result on screen. Aspen lad wins by decision. And hello to everyone that's watching. Hope you are well, as we said. Started a little bit earlier because I had to cover that fight because I was absolutely loving it. And that was one of the fights I was most looking forward to on this card. I think this card, as we've already said, it's not the most competitive. It's a good card. I think it's got potential for some interesting knockouts. But yeah, there's some real one-sided fights here, like Oliveira against Lentz. I think Oliveira's going to absolutely storm that. Ramos against Hubbard. I think Ramos is going to absolutely storm that. Luque against Krantz. Krantz is a last-minute substitution. Like, only found out he was in the fight this week. So, like, Luque is a great fighter. That's not the kind of fight you can really go into unprepared. I think Krantz is going to be unprepared. I don't think he's going to have had much time. And, yeah, I think Luque is going to absolutely storm that one as well. So, quite a few fights here that I think are one-sided. Quite a few. I feel like if you was going to have a little bit of a bet, if you was going to have a little bit of a gamble, this would be a great card to do it with. Because I do feel like there's a few fights here that, you know, are going to go the way that everyone expects. So, yeah, I'm still interested, though. I'm still interested in watching them because we could get some interesting moments. We could get some big knockouts. We could get some interesting submissions. Normally, if the fights are close, then, as we just saw, they go to decision. And I'm expecting to get some finishes tonight. Hello, Dean Winchester. I am well, thank you. I gotta be honest, little bit tired. This has been one of the craziest weeks I've had in a long time. Been down in London for a few days. Then I went to Sheffield. Met a couple of massive WWE superstars. Had a chat with the likes of Cesaro. Had a conversation, an interview with Braun Strowman. There is a Braun Strowman video coming where I chat to the monster amongst men. I talk to him about Bray Wyatt. I talk to him about Nicholas. It's so good. It is so good. And that is coming onto the channel very, very soon. And, you know, we cover UFC as well. As we said, we're here every single week. There was no way I was going to miss this show. Of course, we're back again next week. We're here every single week for the UFC. Do want to keep a close eye, obviously, on Deontay Wilder, who's fighting tonight as well. So, going to keep an eye on that situation. But we're in Rochester, or Rochester. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But that is where we are for Fight Night 152. Let's see how it goes down. As we said, not got the highest of expectations, but some good fighters on this card. And as I said, should see some good finishes. Hello, Landon Cena. You just missed a great fight. Aspen lad beating Eubanks by decision. And both of them going toe-to-toe, trading blows. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Have you ever fallen asleep during a stream? No, not yet. This could be the one. It has been a manic few days. I literally got back home a couple of days ago, and then I had so much to catch up with that I've still got so much I need to do. But I was never not doing this. As we said, you know, we were always going to be streaming. Dos Anjos has arrived. And Kevin Lee. I think Kevin Lee's going to win this one. It's actually quite... the main event is very, very close. Very close. RDA versus Kevin Lee is a close fight. That's reflected as well in the booking odds. I think both guys are minus 115. So that shows... I actually, you know, I don't think I've called a fight where both guys are the same booking odds at the bookies. So the Vegas odds, last I saw, was minus 115, minus 115, like neck and neck. So should be a very interesting main event. And that kind of really does make up for the undercard, because as we said, there's a lot on the undercard that I think is very one-sided. Did you know Ultimate Edition came out? Yes, it is available in Ringside. I don't think it's hit retail shops yet, so still waiting for that, and certainly not here in the UK. So, but it should be out everywhere very, very soon. When will you do the vlog for the Cesaro meet and greet? There is, let me tell you what's coming. There is a vlog for the Cesaro meet and greet. There is a Cesaro interview. There is a Cesaro toy hunt. There is a Braun Strowman vlog. And then there is a Braun Strowman interview. There are 5 big, massive videos. I mean, easily 5 of the biggest videos that will ever have been on this channel. That are all on the way. I don't know when they're coming, because what I found out this week, this was the first time that WWE had actually allowed me this kind of access. So yeah, I have learned a lot of stuff this week. The biggest thing that I learned was that both of those wrestlers are awesome. Really nice guys. I was really worried that they might be difficult to talk to, might not want to talk to me, not knowing who I am. But both of them are absolutely brilliant. And also, WWE have to authorize everything. So I cannot show you even a clip without them like authorizing it. So kind of explains why when you watch interviews you wonder, why didn't they ask that question, or why didn't they ask this question? Maybe they did, and maybe it got cut. I mean, there's every chance that WWE won't let me air Braun Strowman talking about Nicholas or Braun Strowman talking about Bray Wyatt. Maybe they won't let me show those. But yeah, I've got the footage. I'm edited the videos. I've sent it over. It's up to them now to tell me what we can show, what we can't show. I'm hoping that it all comes back A-OK. So should be some point this week. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, smash that subscribe, because we got some big WWE videos on the way. And of course, UFC as well. I know I keep banging on about it, but we're here every week for the UFC. And that is certainly our focus tonight. Not sure what, I need to have a look actually, what the first fight is for tonight. Looks like it's going to be Ramos against Hubbard. So I think we've got Ramos against Hubbard as our first fight. They're just running down the other fights that are on the card, and showing a little bit of footage to do with those fighters. Who is your favourite WWE superstar? Mine is The Undertaker. I would probably say the same. Are you going to go to Paige's meet and greet in Kent in November? To be honest, I don't know. I would say no, but if that's through WWE, then I could potentially reach out to WWE, and you know, if these videos go well, that's why, you know, I am desperate for your support, and your support is the only thing that makes this possible. All of your subscribing and likes and views and just support, all of that stuff is what makes the difference. So I think if the Cesaro Braun Strowman videos do well, then I could potentially speak to WWE and see, you know, could we go along to the Paige one? Could we do others in future? And it'll just really open everything up. So yeah, very, very important week coming up. A very important week. I am going to WrestleMania 36. Very cool, dude. Very cool. Hashtag jealous. Thank you very much, Frank E91210. Was you actually in the show? Beverly Hills 90210. Right, we've got Austin Hubbard, 3-fight win streak, UFC debut, 4 wins by knockout, former LFA lightweight champion. So he is just making his way into the octagon. Interesting fight this, because it's so one-sided that I'm actually really intrigued to see how it plays out. Ramos against Hubbard. I mean, Hubbard's a good prospect. He can break people down. He's got decent cardio, but I just, it's a different league. I mean, Ramos is a different league. This guy is a better striker. He's better on the ground. He's pretty much better in every way. So this is going to be a real challenge for Hubbard. A real challenge. Days, you are awesome. Thank you very much, dude. Hussein the Rex, I answered your question, dude. I said if you don't have AJ, go for AJ. Right, so Ramos has come down. He's, honestly, he is so focused. Second longest submission streak. Finished 8 out of 9 wins, 7 by submission. 4-time Jiu-Jitsu World Cup champion. This is such a one-sided fight. It's not fair. It's not fair. This is cruel. Okay, so first time he's stepping into the octagon in 2019. Hubbard, a little bit taller. He's got a 1-inch reach advantage. Ramos, 5 years older. But one-sided. Do you hope to go to For the Love of Wrestling? Not really, if I'm being honest. I heard it was okay. I heard it was quite small. Like not like a massive convention. And yeah, I wasn't really taken with the pricing. Some of the prices were all right. Like I thought Bret Hart, how much to pay to meet him, I thought was fair and good. But man, that Undertaker one was steep. And honestly, just can't afford to be doing that and buying figures. And I will always prioritize figures. Uh, 9 wins, 2 defeats. The Tasmanian Devil. What's your thoughts on John Moxley? Do you think he'll stay with WWE or go to AEW? Hello, Brent Wilkinson, by the way. I think he will... I feel like he will go back to WWE eventually. Okay, we are underway. Round number 1. I need to change this. Again, I don't know if I've seen such a one-sided... booking odds. Not a great deal happening so far. Oh, hello. We haven't even got statistics here. What's going on? Ramos standing his ground in the center. There we go. Taking his top. See how vicious he is when he lunges forward. Swing and a miss. Kick there by Ramos. Ramos just taking his time here. Standing in the middle ground. Very little thrown, as you can see. Only 6 total strikes. And not much. Oh, low blow there, I think. Ramos, I think, catches Hubbard low. Hubbard says he's all right to continue. They touch gloves. Back underway. 3 minutes 36 left on the clock here. And Ramos just hasn't even gone for it yet. I don't know why. It's just so relaxed. Hubbard is like buzzing around trying to find a way in. Is slightly backed up. Not a great fight so far. Kick though to the body by Hubbard. Left jab. Doesn't land. Nothing still. 2 minutes 40 on the clock. Shot to the body by Ramos. Nice. Left to the body. Overhand right, I think, does connect on Hubbard. Beautiful kick by Ramos, but Hubbard kind of throws a combo to drive him back. Kind of a tricky round to call this because Ramos has stood his ground, not really been troubled that much, but equally hasn't really done anything. I feel like the more active fighter has been Hubbard. It certainly shows that he's been slightly more active on the numbers so far. He's charging in. Nice kick there by Hubbard. Catching the leg of Ramos. Ramos, though. Beautiful 1-2 combo. Fires in a left jab. He is easily the better striker. And he might even look to get a takedown on Ramos so that he can get a submission victory, because he's got quite a few submission victories. Gotta be honest, I'm so surprised he's not just going for this. I'm really surprised he's not just come out and started to... There we go. Beautiful combos. Rights and lefts to the head by Ramos. Little accidental poke by Hubbard. Ramos just taking a second. Seems to have caught him in his left eye. I think it was just the edge of a glove. WWE still Undertaker's yard. Don't know. He's lost quite a few big matches, hasn't he, in recent years? I don't even know who's going to win out of him and Goldberg. That's a tough fight to call. I feel like it could be Goldberg. Right, we're back underway. Still the first round. Got a minute left on the clock. Ooh, big 1-2 by Ramos. Big 1-2 to the head. Snaps Hubbard's head back, but he seems all right. Where are we? He's not too far behind. Probably could do with a good little 30-second flurry here, Ramos. You do always get the feeling that if he goes for this takedown, he grabs him. He sort of had him down, but Hubbard pops straight back up. Choke, and Hubbard's got to try and survive 17, 15 seconds here. I don't know if he can quite get his arm under Ramos. Hubbard looks like he's going to survive. He's just eaten some massive, big shots to the head there. Wow. For a second, I didn't know if Hubbard had actually gone out. Because not only was the choke applied, but also Ramos was hammering down these strikes to the side of the head. And he looked like he just kind of went for a second. I think it was just the angle. I don't think he did. But Hubbard was in a whole world of trouble then for a second. Whole world of trouble. Heydays normally only appear on WWE, but tonight I thought I would just sneak in. Hello, Jimmy S. This is just, hey, look, these UFC streams, they're just chilled, man. I mean, I can't look at the chat as much as a WWE one because the difference in UFC is it can finish at any moment. Fights don't tend to be that long. You get plenty of time to chat in between the fights. But yeah, when the fights are on, kind of have to focus a little bit more on the action. Plus the action, because it's shorter, tends to be a little bit more explosive than what we see in WWE. I think it makes for quite an interesting point of difference. Obviously, we've got that massive WWE stream tomorrow. Money in the Bank. We're into the second round as well. I need to change my graphic up here. We are into round 2. Little kick from Ramos. Swings and misses as well. Hubbard's come out. He's looking all right, you know. Didn't know how he might be after almost getting choked out and pummeled, but he still seems to be in this. Certainly down on total strikes, but he's had more significant strikes. I really feel like Ramos... Oh! Just stumbled there, Ramos. Don't know if he just got caught with a little jab. Knee to the head by Hubbard. Tell you what, Hubbard's come out and he is going for this. I think Hubbard knows that it's now or never. He was in real trouble in that first. And I think he's probably been told by his corner, you need to go for this. If you go in there and just mess around with these little jabs, it's not going to do anything. You've got to land combos. And Ramos looking for a takedown. Hubbard will not survive if he gets taken down. He will not survive. He seemed to be just seconds from tapping at the end of the first. So he needs to do all he can to defend this takedown here. He's still on his feet. He's up against the side of the cage. Knee to the thigh, though, by Ramos. Hubbard. He's got to try and get out of this. Ramos drops down. He's desperately trying to get Hubbard tied up. He's kind of got his legs tangled. Ramos seems to have some sort of strategy. Hubbard escapes. Well done, Hubbard. Well done. It was going to need to take perfect timing to get out of that, and that's exactly what he did. So he managed to get out of there, gets back up onto his feet. He seems to be all right. 2 minutes 20 on the clock. Ramos, so chilled. So chilled. This is like a sparring fight for him. I don't even know if he's broken a sweat. Hubbard is throwing everything, just gets caught. Not a great deal of difference on the numbers, though. But it is night and day when you watch this fight because Ramos just so chilled. Hubbard still coming forward, though. He's certainly game. He's certainly putting up a fight. He's certainly trying. Fires in a little left but doesn't land. I feel like Ramos is too chilled. Oh, that wasn't chilled. Big left uppercut by Ramos. Lunge to the midsection. Big overhand right as well. And then a shoulder charge driving Hubbard into that cage. Hubbard now having to try and defend another takedown attempt. Minute left on the clock. Ramos has got Hubbard kind of tied up here. This, of course, is in the lightweight division, and Hubbard is down. Ramos is dominating here. He is on top of Hubbard. Hubbard is in a bad situation. The only positive he's got, there's only 33 seconds on the clock. This is his second takedown. Why did you not do daily news? To be honest, I completely ran out of time. I'm having to do a lot of editing behind the scenes. So I've had to edit 5 videos that you've not even seen yet. That have had to go to WWE to get authorized. So I'm actually doing more work at the moment than usual. But I know it just doesn't look like it. I know it doesn't look like a great deal is going on to the channel. But I am a busy bee. Let's put it that way. I am a busy bee. Hubbard survives. We saw out the remainder of that round. And we go into the final round. I am shocked that Ramos hasn't been able to cause more problems than he has already. I mean, he has come close to finishing this fight on a couple of occasions. But I do feel like when he's standing, he's not really applying himself, Ramos. I mean, maybe it's going to show in this third round because Hubbard has had to work so hard. Days, I think your new toy hunt ending was very controversial, but cool. I don't know if it was controversial. It was not meant to be as dark as it became. So that's why I age restricted it. I wish I didn't have to age restrict it because it's really hurt the views. 'Cause obviously a large part of the audience is younger, and none of those could watch it. So yeah, I don't know if I overdid it a little bit. We won't do anything along those lines again. But yeah, I gotta say I enjoyed it. I enjoy kind of challenging myself, trying to do something a little bit different. Kind of keeps it interesting and engaging, I think. Certainly for me. And I think the feedback's been really positive on it. But yeah, not something we're going to do on a regular basis. So enjoy it as a one-off. Right, we're into the third, and Hubbard is going for it. I think he knows he's probably down on the judges' cards because of those takedowns. He's firing in some kicks. Ramos blocking those kicks. Again, very chill. Beautiful kick, though, by Ramos to the thigh of Hubbard. Hubbard lunging forward with a left. He's sort of got Ramos backed up against the cage now. He is going for this, Hubbard. But it's a beautiful little 1-2 coming back from Ramos. I think this is a longer fight than Ramos probably expected. Oh, Hubbard wobbling. Hubbard just got caught with a big left. And he's up against the cage. He's struggling here. I think we might see a finish very, very soon. Ramos grabbing Hubbard. I think he senses that Hubbard is there for the taking. He takes down Hubbard. Big strikes coming in now. The ref taking a good look at this. Ramos is all over Hubbard. I don't see how Hubbard gets out of this. 2 minutes 50 on the clock. He looks absolutely gassed. Absolutely not where you want to be. Fair play, you know. He's firing in a couple of shots back, but Ramos isn't really doing a great deal. Knee to the midsection. I don't think he needs to do a great deal. He's all over Hubbard. He's not really firing anything in either. He's just kind of keeping him down. Couple of knees. One strike to the head. I don't know if he's happy to just wind the clock down. But Hubbard is there for the taking. Absolutely, definitely, Hubbard is there for the taking. Couple of elbows coming in. Ref wants both of them back on their feet. So, minute 30, we get reset. Hubbard back on his feet, and he's still fighting. I mean, so much credit to Hubbard. So much credit. He's looked very wobbly on his feet recently, though. Hubbard is still coming forward with a minute to go in this fight. Absolutely incredible. Hubbard still coming forward with a knee. Oh, beautiful left by Hubbard. That was a great little left. He's not winning this fight, but... Ah! Ramos goes down. I don't know if that was a knockdown. I'm not sure if they're classing that as a knockdown by Hubbard or if it was a slip. There wasn't much in it. Certainly didn't seem to be a great deal of power in Hubbard's shot. Before you know it, Ramos was just down. I mean, he's perfectly fine. He's using his feet to defend. And it goes the distance. That's going to go to hummus. That's going to go to hummus. Pac just quit AEW. Is that true? That's big news if true. I wonder why he would do that. Company hasn't even started yet. That would be very interesting. AEW news. Let's have a look. Couple of people are saying that. Oh yeah, Adam Page versus Pac next. Adam Page versus Pac no longer happening. Creative differences. Pac won't be working Double or Nothing. Ah, very interesting. So they're saying that Pac. Okay. I know that we're talking about wrestling here, but that is big news. Let's just get the result first, and then I'll tell you a little bit about that situation. Unanimous decision for Ramos. Of course it was. It had to be. Let's change this over then. So far we're 1 for 1. Right, yeah, so Pac apparently doesn't want to be picking up losses. He's still with Dragon Gate, and he's their champion. So looks like he agreed to go to AEW, but it was under the grounds that he was going to be victorious. I think he has probably found out that he either wasn't going to win, or there was going to be some kind of a screwy finish. Maybe he would lose by DQ so that he'd still save face or something like that. Either way, he's not happy with it. And so as a result, he has walked away from this one. But Dave Meltzer saying that he could return. So not for Double or... I think he's probably done for Double or Nothing though. Which is a real shame because that's that was a big name that they had there. So well done to Ramos, just jumping back to UFC. Ramos against Hubbard. Ramos with an easy victory. Hubbard actually doing very well though, staying in there to the very end. Undertaker will beat Goldberg. Okay. AEW will be on ITV. It's ITV box office. So don't expect to see it on ITV. It's ITV box office. See you later, Jimmy S. Is Khabib confirmed? Are they announcing this right now? Is it Cowboy? What is this? June 8th. Is it Cowboy against... Oh, I think it is. Wow. Tony Ferguson, yes. I am a big Tony Ferguson fan. The people's main event. Wow. That's big. So, Tony Ferguson against Donald Cerrone. That lightweight rankings is on fire. Hi, I got the new Jeff Hardy and Velveteen Dream. Very cool, dude. Goodbye and hello and goodbye and hello. Hello. I love how you respect people's opinions. Yeah, of course. Ah, is it Oliveira? Yeah, Oliveira. So, this fight has happened before, twice. This is the third time. I believe the first time was in 2011. Second time was in 2015. The first one was rated a no contest. Second one, Oliveira picked up the victory. Now they're fighting for a third time, and I gotta be honest, Oliveira is, firm favourite to win this again. I don't know why, really, this fight's been booked again, but it is happening again. And I really think Oliveira is going to absolutely storm it. He's got Muay Thai striking. He's very strong. He's got a great jab, great leg kicks, really good submissions. He's the better fighter on the ground. And Lentz is not as technical. He's all right with his striking. He's all right with his takedowns, but not as good as Oliveira. And he's going to struggle. He has got experience. That is a big thing that Lentz has got, but it's not enough. It's nowhere near enough. So I think this is going to be a walk in the park for Oliveira. I don't think this goes the distance. Infinity Ash, hello my friend, hope you are well. Thank you very much for the support, I really do appreciate it. Shout out to Justin and Michael. Shout out to WWE Talk Show and Wrestling. I don't like that Oliveira calls himself Cowboy. We all know the real Cowboy. Yeah, true. So, Oliveira, 13 submissions, most in UFC history. Last 7, he has won by submission. And the commentator's saying he is doing a good job of racking up those bonuses. I think this is a straightforward fight. I've got to be honest. I'm not expecting any surprises in this one. I could see it even being an early finish. So let's change over the info. Oliveira. How do you spell it? Oliveira versus Lentz. Boom. Please shout out to JJ Doak. Brackets Gavin Doak. Shout out to you. Okay, he is too scared. Oh, are you challenging people to rap battles? Why not? Why not? Nick the Carney Lentz. So here comes Nick Lentz on his way down from El Paso, Texas. Shout out to Bournemouth. I love Bournemouth. Did a fair few of my early toy hunts in Bournemouth because I used to live down in Southampton. So it was nothing to go over to Bournemouth. So, yeah, big fan of Bournemouth. Strowman versus Lashley. Yes, I heard about that earlier. I got chance, as I was saying earlier in the stream, I got chance to interview Strowman. There is an interview with Braun Strowman that will be coming onto the channel very soon. And he is a really, really nice guy. Terrifying, no two ways about it. Absolutely terrifying. But I'll be firmly cheering on Strowman. I feel like they should give Cesaro a match as well because his match against Rey Mysterio on Raw was incredible. Really great. Here comes Oliveira. Most submissions in UFC history. Are you alright, Resting Days? I am good, thank you. How are you? Okay, so Oliveira has made his ring walk. He's just taking off his glasses. Just waiting for the statistics on him. Just embracing his trainers. Here we go. Most submissions in UFC history with 13. Fourth most performance awards in UFC history with 14. He's finished 24 out of his 26 wins. 6 by knockout. 18 by submission. Wow. So he makes his way into the octagon. Boos for Oliveira. I'm guessing that's because this crowd favouring Lentz, who of course is American. Big reach advantage here for Oliveira. 6-inch reach advantage. 5 years younger as well. He's a little bit taller. He's a little bit lighter. He's just got everything going for him. I don't even know if there's any point watching this fight. He's heavy underdog, Lentz. Heavy underdog. Coconut Creek? I've never even heard of Coconut Creek. Man, if I was born in Coconut Creek, I would never leave there. That sounds like such a lovely place. Where are you from? I'm from Coconut Creek. Coconut in Florida? I need to check that out. Whereabouts in Florida is Coconut Creek? Is it like part of Disneyland or something? Coconut Creek. I swear it's one of like Disneyland's water parks. Coconut Creek. Here we go. It is down by Miami. The butterfly oh my god, it's known as the butterfly capital of the world. It's just full of butterflies and coconuts. There it is, if you wanted to know. There's Florida, the shaded bit. That is Coconut Creek, my friends. I'll meet you there. We are underway anyway. Let's go over. 30 seconds in. Oliveira in the center of the octagon. He's going to be looking for those takedowns. Going in for a big kick. Couple of strikes coming in from Lentz. They're into the clinch. Elbow from Oliveira. They're just saying that Oliveira won their last fight. Obviously, this is the third time they're facing each other. Ooh, big strikes to the head by Oliveira. Apparently, the last fight was a third round submission win for Oliveira, but that was 4 years ago. I think he's really come on since then. I don't think this is going 3 rounds. In the clinch again. Forearm by Oliveira. You can see Oliveira pulling away with total strikes. Just ticking them over. Knee, forearm. 3 minutes on the clock. Coming in with a kick by Lentz. Pace has fallen away out of this a little bit. Ooh, charging forward by Oliveira. It's Lentz, though, that reverses. He's got Oliveira around the waist. He's got Oliveira pinned up against the cage. What is he going to look to do here? Oliveira spinning him round. And backing away. Kind of oh, there's a cut. A cut just to the side of the left eye of Lentz. I don't think that's going to cause him too much bother. I think it's at the side. So it's not above. It's not going to, like, obstruct his vision or anything like that. But Oliveira could surely target it. Kind of open it up a little bit. Big left hand as well. Just catches Lentz. Lentz in a whole world of trouble. Oh! Big kick! Kick to the face, but it's a takedown by Lentz. That blood is really coming down the face of Lentz now. Yeah, some great jiu-jitsu. Lentz, I think, is looking for a guillotine choke, but can't get anything. You've got to be so on the money if you're going to take Oliveira down. Oh, he's getting into some positions here, Oliveira. Before you know it, you're getting choked. I'm not sure if Lentz made the right move there in trying to take Oliveira down. Oliveira is just changing his position up. He's firing in some elbows. Blood pouring down the face of Lentz. Lentz is just trying to tie up the legs of Oliveira. He's just trying to survive. Shot to the body there by Oliveira. What is he going to do from here? Forearm smash. Kick to the body. Ooh, both guys on their feet. Final 10 seconds. Easily an Oliveira round. Easily an Oliveira round. Coconut Creek is in Florida. Yes, I just saw that. I was just saying, if I lived there, I'd never leave. Sounds wonderful. The butterfly capital of the world. Why would you want to step into the octagon and get your face hit If you could stay in Coconut Creek. I think that's what Lentz is probably thinking right now. He's probably sat there thinking, God, wish I was still in Coconut Creek. He's just trying to sort out that cut above his eye. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. That's probably going to need stitches after. Damn, I feel bad for this stream. Here we go. He's pacing back and forth a little bit. I think they're just checking over that cut again. They're happy with it for now. Feel like Oliveira's going to sort of target it. Oh, big right hand by Oliveira. Lentz, though, takes down Oliveira. Again, I don't know how wise this is. Why does Lentz want to keep taking down Oliveira? And that cut has opened up again. And there's even a choke here. Guillotine by Oliveira. Lentz is trying to get out. I think the ref is going to look here at that cut. He's not tapped. He's managed to get his head popped out. Elbow to the side of the head of Lentz. Wow. Lots of blood. I mean, I've seen more blood, but I'm just saying. Kick to the face. Did Lentz... Ref's just looking at the eye. Ref's going over. So you're not allowed to up kick. Oliveira does land one. So referee talking to Oliveira, even asking, do you need an interpreter? Oliveira says no. Okay, so they're going straight back to where they were. It's not usual, actually, to see them do that. Go straight back to the position that they were in. But both guys get back up to their feet. Oliveira with a knee to the midsection. 3 minutes 20. There's been quite a bit happening this round. Quite a long stoppage there. So both guys back up onto their feet anyway. Trading shots back and forth. They've gone back into the centre of the octagon. I really feel like Oliveira just needs to get this finished. It does look like Lentz is quite a tricky person to put away, though. Ah, but that's how you do it! Big right hand! Big right hand, and the referee calls it off! Exactly what we just said. No more messing around. Just needed that big right hand. Down goes Lentz. He was still conscious, though. Oliveira, though, follows up. Hammers down. Referee stops the fight. Hammer fist, ground and pound. The fight is stopped in the second. And it's a pretty easy win for Oliveira. Just showing a replay here. So a kick by Lentz. Left himself open to that big straight right hand. Goes straight down the middle. Bang! On the chin! You can see his head just like resonate, reverberate. Lentz goes down. Beautiful knockdown. Oh, it's a thing of beauty, let me tell you. So, a great win there for Oliveira. And hopefully they don't have to fight each other anymore. Oliveira. Boom. I'm having lots of fun. How much fun are you having today, Resting Days? I have been editing all day. This is probably the most fun I've had all day, if I'm being honest. And yeah, we've seen some really good stuff. I really liked Lad against Eubanks that we saw at the start of the stream. Going to decision, Lad getting the victory there. Then, of course, we saw the first fight, Ramos getting the victory as well via decision. And now, big knockout for Oliveira. Straight down the middle, on the button. Do you watch UFC fights on the WWE network? No, you can't. There is no UFC on the WWE network. I am watching on BT Sport. So, winner by TKO, Charles Oliveira. Yowie wowie. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe. We're here every week for UFC. And we are here as well tomorrow. Big one tomorrow. Tomorrow we have got Money in the Bank. Most finishes in UFC history, Charles Oliveira with 14. Same as Anderson Silva. Impressive stuff. Just showing a replay of that knockout. Oh man, it's brutal. It is brutal. The way Lentz's head kind of bounces around. And then hammer fists. And there's very little defense from Lentz. Shout out to KJ. Right, not sure what Money in the Bank is going to be awesome. Yeah, very much looking forward to it. I agree. Five straight wins for Charles Oliveira. I think this is going to be our next fight. Luque against Krantz. This is Krantz's UFC debut. Should be a really interesting fight, this. So Luque has got big leg kicks, really good submissions, and he likes to put the pressure on. He likes to finish fights. Luque is going to charge forward here, and he is going to really try and get a finish. Krantz is a last-minute replacement. Only found out this week that he was going to be in this fight. So this is a real challenge. It's a big opportunity for Krantz as well, though. Take nothing away, you know. Krantz has, as we said, you know, got a big opportunity, but I think it's too much. I think it's too much, too short notice. And I really, really feel like this is an easy victory for Luque. All the fights we've predicted have gone the way we've predicted them so far. And this next one is probably the one that I am most confident about on the whole card. Luque versus Krantz. Who wins this fight? Luque. You can see my predictions streaming along the bottom. Shout out to Jack McWilliams. We're just waiting for the third fight of this card to get underway. There's 6 fights in total on this main event card. Obviously, the main event being RDA against Kevin Lee. And I think Lee should win that. Not comfortably. I think it is quite a close fight. But I do think Lee should get the victory. Hey Days, I just joined. Shout out, hello National Wrestling. Thank you for stopping by. You've missed some really good stuff, actually. You just missed a great knockout by Oliveira. As we said, we said at the start of this, we think we're going to see quite a bit of that. Like some good finishes. Because it's not the most competitive card. So, this next fight in particular, Luque is heavy favourite. This next fight is one of the biggest mismatches that we've seen ever called. Days, I'm 3 away from having all of the defining moments. Only need Sting, Ric Flair, and Macho Man. Very cool, dude. I'm not sure what they're showing us here, what this little video package is for. What is your favourite UFC fighter? I love Tony Ferguson. Big Tony Ferguson fan. Who doesn't love Conor? I do enjoy watching Conor. I feel like Daniel Cormier, there's an argument for him to be called the greatest. I certainly think he's in the conversation. Israel Adesanya as well. There's a lot of women that are I really do like Aspen Ladd, who we saw earlier. I don't think she's the greatest female fighter, but she is undefeated. She's definitely got some weaknesses though. But I do enjoy watching her fights. And actually her fight against Eubanks earlier in the stream was fantastic. There's quite a few. I wouldn't even know how to whittle that down to one. I would say, I don't know, maybe Rose? Oh, it's Rashid. Okay. Rashad Evans goes into the modern wing of the Hall of Fame. Rashad Evans. That's very much deserved. Very much deserved. I think he's got a few tears in his eyes as well. Days, wouldn't it be cool if Undertaker Goldberg was a casket match? Yeah, that'd be fun. Who is better, Big Chungus or Moto Moto? Who do you think, Xavier? He seems very happy. Rashad Evans keeps having to get his little tissue out, mop his brow and take a few tears away. They're just talking about July now. UFC fan experience. You get to go to the Hall of Fame. And you've got UFC 239. Very cool. Well done, Rashad Evans. So we should be going over to Luque. Days, I think there will be about 270 watching tomorrow's stream. And if I am right, I get an automatic win at Wheel of Fun. They're just showing us Krantz, who, as we said, had to take this fight last second. The Demon Bray would pop out of the casket near the finish. What is your favourite WWE pay-per-view of all time? I have a real soft spot for Survivor Series 92 because it was the first pay-per-view I ever saw. And it had some great wrestlers on it. Great interesting matches. Like Big Boss Man against Nails, I believe, was on that card. And you had Ultimate Warrior. No. Ultimate Warrior was meant to be on it, but he was replaced last minute, wasn't he, by Mr. Perfect? It was meant to be Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior against Razor Ramon and Ric Flair. But Warrior, I think, quit or got fired. And so he got replaced. But yeah, it was the first one I saw, so I do love that. I've got, like, more recently a soft spot for, like, WrestleMania 30... Royal Rumble 92, of course. It's a great one. I can't think of any pay-per-views in recent years. I mean, like, all the NXT ones are brilliant, but yeah, honestly, I'd be going back to early 90s. Maybe WrestleMania 17. I feel like that would be the popular choice. I feel like if you asked 100 wrestling fans, that would be the one that gets mentioned the most. WrestleMania 17. But I'm not sure that's the one I would go for. They're just showing, I think, what, Krantz? My favourite was Judgment Day 2002. Very cool, dude. So they're just showing Dana. This is cool, man. Derrick Krantz's UFC debut tonight. So, yeah, this is a mismatch. There's no two ways about it. They just showed us some nice little footage there. Luque versus Krantz. How old was you when you started watching wrestling? How old was I? Oh, I was young. I was younger than 10. But yeah, I've been a fan since 92. 92 was the year that I got into it. Have you ever seen Congo Kong fight? He's a good wrestler. No. Days, if you could see any UFC fighters in WWE, who would it be? Pick one girl and one boy. That is a really good question. That is a really good question. If I could see one girl, one boy, I would want to see. I don't know. It's hard not to say Conor. Because I just feel like Conor's got the promo skill. Like, the promo side of things are so important. Because obviously WWE is scripted. And I think whoever comes into WWE from UFC is going to do well because you've got that legitimacy. So I think it's very important that you can talk. And there's a lot of UFC fighters that can talk, but there's no one better than Conor. So I do hate to give the obvious answer, but I think it's the obvious answer for a reason, and that is that not only are you getting a legitimate fighter, but you're also getting someone that can talk and cut some of the best promos. So, and that's important. In regards to the women, it'd probably be Cyborg. I would love to see that Cyborg versus Ronda Rousey encounter. Even if it was WWE, even if it was scripted, you still get that stare down. You still get the build. Yeah, it'd be interesting to know. There's a lot of politics with WWE, A lot of politics. So it'd be interesting to know who gets the victory. How they decided that. Will there be a rematch? Is it just going to be a one-off? I feel like if it happened, then Ronda would insist that she gets the victory. Right, Derrick Krantz. Let's change our focus back to the UFC. Derrick Krantz is here. I just really feel like he's out of his depth. Welcome to the UFC. He's in there against a fantastic fighter. Here comes Luque. Really great all-round fighter. Is good with takedowns. Great submission specialist. Really good striker. He's got good leg kicks. It's done. It's a done deal. Days, just saw the video of you versus the alligator. Is a rematch in... what? Me in the swimming pool? No, sadly I don't have a swimming pool. Plus, I got the victory, and I think I'd probably lose a rematch. Finished 14 out of 15 wins, 8 knockouts, 6 submissions, highest striking accuracy amongst the active UFC welterweights. Ranked number 15. Have you ever seen Hardcore Holly wrestle? That is a weird question. Call the round. Will do. Once it starts. Luque gets into the octagon. They're just giving us a few statistics. 3.5 inch reach advantage for Luque. Just introducing the two. I don't think this is going long. I don't see this going to decision. Plus 750 underdog. That's the biggest underdog I've seen. I can't remember seeing anyone with those kind of odds. Krantz is plus 750. In a way, what has he got to lose? Like, he's not expected to win. He can go in there. Minus 1,200. What? Luque is minus... That has grown. I've got him down as minus 800. Now he's minus 1,200. This is the biggest mismatch I think I've called. I don't think we've ever seen a fight this extreme with the odds. This is like me taking on Braun Strowman. Wow, here we go then. Krantz coming out, just going for it. He knows that he's got to go for it. Luque has got a guillotine on. Krantz rushed in, and he's rushed straight into a guillotine. It's a standing guillotine. He's trying to get him down. He does. Has Krantz managed to get out of it yet? I don't think so. He has now. He's gone for it. You've got to give him credit. I think he knows that there's every chance he was going to get put away quite early. So he's come straight out the blocks. He's got Luque up against the cage. He's fired in quite a few shots. He's got a takedown. All in the first minute. Is on the back of Luque. Luque just can't seem to get himself into this fight yet. And Krantz is looking for a rear naked choke here. He's trying to get it out. He can't get it under the chin. No, he's popped out of it quite easily there, Luque. Into a guillotine, is that? I think Krantz might have got a guillotine choke on. I tell you what, very, very impressive start by Krantz. He's come fast out of the gates. He's managed to drive Luque back. Luque managed to just get a guillotine choke on. But then Krantz has managed to just dominate the rest of the fight. I mean, look, they're back up, they're standing. Now, this is where Krantz is going to be tested. Because he hasn't got that element of surprise now. Luque on his feet with Krantz. Luque not rushing this. Just over 2 minutes on the clock. Kick from Luque. I mean, Krantz is taking this round. Hello, C Wrestling. Hope you are well. Beautiful left jab there by Krantz. Roundhouse left by Krantz as well. There's definitely an argument that Krantz could take this round, but there's still 1:40 to go. If you are just joining us, this is a complete mismatch. Luque, the betting odds on this are just absolutely insane. Luque is the biggest favourite I think I've ever seen. But the news is he's probably losing this first round. Beautiful though, right hands. Big knee is dropped. Krantz goes down. And now Luque hammering. He's got to defend. Krantz doesn't. Luque gets the victory. Why didn't Krantz defend then? Krantz was just taking these shots. He wasn't providing any kind of defense. The ref had no options. Luque going over, checking on Krantz. So just showing a replay here. Knee, big left hand, drops him down. This is what I don't get right here. There's about 10 seconds where Luque is just hitting Krantz in the head and Krantz isn't defending it. He's got no form of defense. It makes no sense. Just smacking him in the head. The ref had no choice. The ref had no choice. Krantz, little unsteady on his feet, looking at the ref like, why did you stop it? But the ref had no choice there whatsoever. We'll get the official decision. We knew that would be a walk in the park for Luque. A little trickier at the start than what I think he was expecting, but he gets the victory, and so far we are 3 for 3. Could this be the night? We've never done it, but could we correctly get all 6 fight predictions? I hope so. He was dazed. He was dazed, you're absolutely right. He was dazed. KJ Carter, hello to you. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe. We've got that massive, massive Money in the Bank live stream tomorrow. One of the biggest WWE pay-per-views of the year. So big, even WWE are doing a watch-along. Mm, 15 live events in 2 weeks on the UFC Fight Pass. So Luque with the first round victory there over Krantz. Krantz having to take this fight, only accepting it this week. Been subscribed for a year now. Yeah, I've seen you around before, Xavier. I know that's true. Well done to Luque. Luque beats Krantz. They're just coming in, having a few words with him. What is our next fight? I'm not even sure. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see. Oh, it's going to be the women. It is going to be the featherweight, women's featherweight. It's going to be Megan Anderson taking on Felicia Spencer. Felicia Spencer undefeated from Canada. Megan Anderson from Australia. And this is like striker versus grappler. Megan Anderson is a great striker. And she's going to have to look to try and stop Spencer's takedowns. Spencer is the better grappler. And that's exactly what she's going to look to do. She's going to look to take down Anderson. I feel like Anderson's just got that little bit more about her. So I've gone with Anderson, but I know it could be Spencer. I think this is a closer fight than what we've seen on the card so far. They're just showing a replay of the finish. It was a left knee to the body. Left hook. Sends down Krantz. And then just big right shots, right hands to the head. I don't know why Krantz didn't just get his arm up to try and block them. The ref wouldn't have stopped it then. Unless he was out. Maybe he was out for a little bit. Honestly, don't know. Do you think there will be a Firefly Funhouse on Money in the Bank? I don't know. I doubt it. A lot of people think we might even see Bray, but I'm not sure we will. It'd be a good show for him to make his debut on, but I feel like WWE are more about the ratings on Raw and SmackDown at the moment, trying to turn them around. So I think they'll probably just save it for that. what you might see tomorrow on Money in the Bank is an advert for the next Firefly Funhouse. Right, Luque beat Krantz. Walk in the park for him. Let's go. Let's change this over. Next fight is going to be Anderson versus Spencer. Boom. Did you see that Pat actually considered cancelling the live stream because the Cringe crew won't be there? I did, yeah. Pat McCarthy, I think he's called. Yeah, so a lot of you won't have seen this. I only saw it because I was tagged in it. But the guy that actually hosts the WWE watch-alongs, one of our members of our Cringe crew, Yusuf, sent a message to Pat saying, I'm not going to watch this stupid watch-along. I'll be watching the Wrestling Days one instead with the Cringe crew. And Pat actually replied, oh no, Yusuf, if you're not going to watch and the Cringe crew's not going to watch, then maybe we should cancel the whole thing. I was really tempted to send some kind of a message back, but I thought, nah, best not. I'm not really looking to start a war with WWE at the moment. Not considering I'm like on good terms with them. So, yeah, I probably won't go calling out Pat McCarthy. But yeah, I did think it was quite funny. You're a good commentator. A company should look into hiring you. It's a really tough one, I gotta be honest, because I do absolutely love commentating. It is something I enjoy doing. I enjoy calling the action, and I love like trying to learn about the different moves, and you get that in WWE. Like the same move can be called 20 different things. Depends who does it, you know. So it's kind of difficult sometimes to keep up with all the different names of all the different moves and everything. But I do enjoy that. And I enjoy the backstories, and I would definitely be tempted to do that. But I enjoy spending my time with you guys as well. So, I don't know, it's really tough. I feel like if WWE were to come in and ask, then I would be severely tempted to give it a try. But that's never going to happen, so don't worry about that. Megan Anderson, backstage in the locker room, just showing a few shots of her warming up, and there's Felicia Spencer, still undefeated, former Invicta FC Featherweight champion. And that is our next fight. Always enjoy watching the women. I think it's a little different, you know, mixing it up. We've had a few cards this year where there's not been any female fights. Start a war with Pat. You could replace Pat. Did you hear that Pat got shouted at WrestleMania because he was wearing shorts? Don't know if you remember, but on the kickoff show, I mentioned it actually because it did look odd. He was standing there in shorts. Like, they were smart shorts, but it was still shorts, and it looked weird. And apparently, Michael Cole felt the same. And 40 minutes before WrestleMania, Michael Cole went absolutely ballistic at Pat McCarthy. And Pat McCarthy, like, threatened to leave, threatened to walk away. Michael Cole apologised, said it had been a bit of a long week. And that was that. But yeah, he got shouted at for wearing shorts. That is literally the only thing I know about Pat McCarthy. I know it sounds like a really weird fact. It's because it's the only fact I know. Why the heck do Peeps say 145 has no other than Cyborg. I mean, is 6 and would probably get sick cut into 135. Days, do you have any sponsors? Nope. What I do have is a lot of companies now starting to send items through for me to take a look at because they know there's a bit of a community on the channel. So if you ever see me using like hashtag ad, it's not because I've been paid. I literally use that because the company has sent me the item for free. I've not had to buy that item. And so because I've received something, even though it's not money, it's just the item. I think you have to use hashtag ad. I do anyway, just to kind of cover myself. But no, I don't have any sponsors. No one gives me any money. What comes through? Kids magazines. They send one through each month for me to review. And Mattel, occasionally, as you've seen on the channel, send through a few items. Who else? I think there might be some stretch figures coming through. That's something that I've been told might be on the way. So we might do a video on stretch figures. But yeah, no one, this is important, no one ever has ever told me what to say. Ever. I have never been told what to say. All my opinions are my own, and they're the truth. If I don't like something, then I'll tell you I don't like it. So, yeah. I think it's always good to be transparent. Spencer making her way down to the ring. With the Canadian flag behind her. Days, they should have a segment each week on Raw where you RKO people out of nowhere. See you tomorrow, Logan Nero. Thank you very much for stopping by. Hey, Days, watching from the northeast of the UK. Oh, it's moody, isn't it, dude? It's hard. I gotta be honest. I mean, like, I suppose it's not bad because it's like a early Sunday morning, but yeah, it's not easy watching in the UK. Right now, it is 25 to 3 in the morning where I am. And obviously where you are as well, if you're in the UK. And as we said, on paper, this isn't the greatest of cards. I knew that this was going to be a quieter live stream. I knew that this was going to be a quieter card. I knew that we would see some interesting finishes, though, because they're not the most competitive fights. And we have. That's exactly what we've seen. This one, though, is closer. No two ways about it. This one really could go either way. I've seen a lot of people predicting that Spencer's going to win. I've gone with Anderson. I just think Anderson will be able to stop the takedowns. And I think she is the better striker. And here she comes. From Gold Coast, Australia. Watching from Florida. Are you in the Coconut Coast or Coconut Cove or whatever it was called? Coconut Escape. She has got some crazy tattoos. Both of her arms are heavily tattooed and all down her leg. None of them are coloured in though, are they? Wonder why. They look cool. Lots of different images. She's got like a woman's face up here. Then she's got some kind of moon and... Is that a building? by her elbow. There's a lot of detail on those tattoos. She's got a skull on her forearm. Anderson is my pick for this. Let me know in the chat who you're going for. Anderson has got a 4-inch reach advantage. She is a bit taller. 6 foot tall. Felicia Spencer 5'6", so big height advantage for Megan Anderson. She is not going to be easy to take down. She is the underdog, Spencer, actually. Plus 160. Undefeated, though. 6 wins, no defeats. She's very confident. From Orlando, go to the same gym as Felicia. Oh, very cool. Well, I'm guessing you're going to be cheering her on then, Wyatt. I gotta say, I'm going with the favourite here. I am going with Megan Anderson, but Spencer's got a great opportunity in this. Anderson. Who's better, Grim or Tommy? Really hard to call. I always preferred Tommy, if I'm being honest. I got nothing but love for Grim. But you're asking me to compare my probably 2 biggest inspirations. And I just feel like Tommy was more constructive with his humour. Nice early start here for Anderson. Firing in a couple of shots. Big right hand. Spencer trying to get into the clinch. Looking for a takedown. Tell you what, Anderson is huge. She is absolutely huge. Good start by Spencer. Firing in some knees. She's got Anderson backed up against the cage. She's firing in knees. Stomping down on the feet. Anderson not in a great position here. She's quite comfortable. She's alright for now, but she does have to be careful. Last thing she wants is to be taken down. Oh, she's okay. Spencer really trying. She's managed to get round the back. And now Anderson's going to have to watch for that rear naked choke. Spencer down, and has she got the rear naked in? I can't see if it's in properly. Yeah, and Anderson has managed to get Spencer down. Or Spencer has got Anderson down, sorry. 3 minutes left of this first round. Firing in a couple of little kicks. She's on her back. What is she going to do from here? Firing in shots to the head. Anderson is defending it. She's looking to get up onto her feet. Spencer just constantly raining shots in. You can see total strikes 22-7. Honestly, don't know much about her. More shots coming in. Anderson really struggling in this first round. 2 minutes left. Spencer just firing shots in. Both up against the cage. Not a great deal happening at the moment. Oh, she's tapped! Spencer with the victory. She just couldn't get out. Anderson just could not get out. That is a big win for Spencer there. Absolutely huge. It didn't look like she was in that much bother. Said that was going to be closer. Didn't expect that. Really didn't expect that. Wow. Wow, indeed. Raining shots down. Great job. I gotta be honest, I'm really impressed with Spencer there. She remains undefeated. She chokes her out. It's a rear naked choke, I think. You can't quite see because it's so close to the cage. The angle wasn't brilliant. Big win for Spencer there. She's happy with that. Let's change this over at the top. So Spencer beats Anderson. They are still walking out right now. They are still walking out right now. No. Spencer won. Black belts are sneaky. She is a beast. Yeah, it was good. It was a really good fight. I mean, short, but very interesting. Kind of felt to me like Anderson was going to just pop up. She didn't seem to be in a great deal of trouble, but then it just all of a sudden it changed. Spencer managed to just get into a great position right on her back, get that arm underneath. She just got into a great position. Going over to the result. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe because we're here every week for the UFC. And there will be better cards to come in the future. But honestly, this is a fun card because we're getting some good finishes. Felicia Spencer, winner by submission, rear naked choke. 3 minutes 24 into the first round. MMA record 7-0. 3 consecutive wins by submission. Good win. Awesome, Xavier. I'm really pleased. Really glad that it helped. Hello, King Dermo. Hope you are well, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. Really do appreciate it. As we said, we're here every week for UFC, and I know a lot of people that join us on this channel. Big fans of wrestling as well. We're back tomorrow for that massive WWE Money in the Bank event. That is huge. Huge! So, just getting a picture with her trainers. They're just talking about what's on Fight Pass. Right, we need to talk about what the next fight is going to be. Let's jump over and see what's coming up next. I'm also just going to have a look and see what the latest is with Deontay Wilder. I'm not sure when his ring walk is. I'm not sure what time that's actually going to be on. 3 a.m. So in about 15 minutes, apparently. Co-main event is next. Right. Let's change this over. This is our co-main event. Carlos Jr. Heinisch. Spencer versus Nunes. That'd be amazing, yeah. Right. Carlos Jr. against Heinisch. This is a middleweight fight. And Carlos Jr., great jiu-jitsu fighter. He is the stronger fighter as well. If he can get Heinisch down, which I feel like he will, then he should win this fight. Heinisch, he throws a lot, but he lands a lot as well. He's a decent striker. He's got to stop the takedowns, though. He has got to stop takedowns. If Heinisch gets taken down, he is in trouble. I think Carlos Jr. will take him down. And as a result, I think Carlos Jr. Is going to emerge victorious in this one. Let me know your thoughts. I think Carlos Jr. is the favourite for this as well. This is our co-main event. So the next one after this will be RDA against Kevin Lee, which should be a great fight. Very close. It's a good main event, actually. I am looking forward to that main event. But we've got Carlos Jr. against Heinisch coming up first. Have you ever heard of Neil Magny? He's probably my favourite UFC fighter, to be honest. I have heard, but I don't know if I've seen any fights. Was he meant to be on this card? Right. We are going back. We're just at commercial break at the moment. Dana White's Contender Series. Week 1 starts on June 18th. Contender Series is always fun. Shout out Wrestling Days and The Undertaker. Thank you very much, dude. They're just talking about the matchups in the Contender Series Week 2. Richie Santiago. Some interesting stuff there. But we're at our co-main event. Carlos Jr. against Heinisch. What's the betting odds? Carlos Jr. minus 190. Heinisch plus 160. So Carlos Jr. is the favourite coming into this. Days, do you think Ken Shamrock should be in the Hall of Fame? Which Hall of Fame? Are you talking the WWE one or the UFC one? Is he in the UFC one, actually? I can't remember. Let's have a look. Who's in the UFC Hall of Fame? UFC Hall of Fame. Royce Gracie should be in there. Inductees. Here we go. Royce Gracie went in 2003. Ken Shamrock went in. Ken Shamrock was the second person to go in. In fact, he went in at the same time as Royce Gracie. So Ken Shamrock is in the UFC Hall of Fame. Dan Severn went in. Randy Couture, Mark Coleman, Chuck Liddell, Matt Hughes, Tito Ortiz, Pat Militic. Who else has gone in? The Modern Era, Forrest Griffin, BJ Penn, Uriah Faber, Ronda Rousey. Obviously, we know that Rashad Evans and Michael Bisping are going in as well. So, Ken Shamrock in the WWE Hall of Fame. That's tough. I feel like he's on the edge. Don't know if he did quite enough in WWE, if I'm being honest. Let's have a look. What did he achieve? WWE. He won King of the Ring. He won the IC title. And he won a Tag Team Championship. I suppose there's an argument. I suppose he could go in. He was in for a fair few years. He was in for a couple of years. I think you would put him in. I think I would put Ken Shamrock in. There's not many examples of like UFC fighters going over to WWE. He was the first, in many ways he was a trailblazer for that. He was one of the first people to really bring MMA over to WWE. I mean, we'd seen MMA fighters in WWE before. People like Antonio Inoki was a martial arts expert, and he had fought in WWE. But yeah, I feel like Ken Shamrock was one of the first as well. So even if he didn't achieve a great deal, I think he's probably important. So I'd put him in. Chris Rogers says, I thought he was a good heel. Layla says, I'm a new MMA fan. I had a question. Do you think height makes a difference in a fight? Is being shorter a big disadvantage? For example, that Kelvin versus Stylebender fight. I've got to be honest, height doesn't make the biggest difference when it comes to UFC because it makes zero difference if you take them down. What I would say is that if you are a shorter person and your strength is striking, then you're going to struggle because I'm guessing that you're not going to have a great reach either. So if you're short and stacked, that can be a slight problem if your only real ability is striking. But I mean, there's not too many people that are in that bracket now. The thing with UFC is that when you get to the UFC, because the UFC is the pinnacle, you're talking about elite all-round fighters here. There's everyone's got good takedowns. Everyone's good on the ground. Everyone can throw fists. It's just you've got people that are better than others. But everyone's, I would say, competent in all of those departments. So I think that means that height is not really the biggest factor. But it can be, depending on what your strengths are. I hope that kind of answered your question. It's very much depending, but rarely is it a factor. I feel like reach is more of a bigger deal. But even that rarely decides a fight. You just have to change your strategy. Both guys are in the octagon now. Ian Heinisch, MMA record of 12-1. He is a +140 underdog. from the United States. Didn't see which part of the United States. Let's say Coconut Creek. Let's say he's from Coconut Creek. He is taking on Antonio Carlos Jr. from Brazil. Minus 165. 11 wins, 2 defeats, 1 no contest. And Carlos Jr. is the person that I've got here. I really feel like he will get a takedown. I don't think it's going to be an easy fight, though. Todd Anderson, the referee. What do you think the next Firefly Funhouse will be about? I think that we'll see some new characters. I did a whole video on it earlier, kind of rounding up a lot of the theories and some really interesting info on social media. So if you're a fan of the Firefly Funhouse, check that video out. Right, we are underway. Carlos Jr. against Heinisch. Heinisch has come out firing in leg kicks to start us off. Carlos Jr. very comfortable. Both guys standing their ground. Carlos Jr. firing in some kicks of his own. They're in the clinch. Carlos Jr. could look for a takedown nice and early. Backs Heinisch up against that cage. And a takedown. That didn't take long, did it? That we said that is exactly what Carlos Jr. was going to look to do. And that is what he's done. Nice early takedown. He is the stronger person on the ground as well. And again, going back to that point, when you take someone down, height makes very little difference. I think it can be trickier to take a taller person down. But I mean, prime example in that last fight, Megan Anderson. Much, much bigger than Felicia Spencer. Felicia Spencer managing to get Anderson down. Little tricky. She had to work for it. But she got the job done. Very dominant position here by Carlos Jr. He was looking for a leg lock. He's still on top of Heinisch. He's got an elbow right under the chin. He's kind of driving it in as well. He's got him pinned up against the cage. Both guys on their feet. Good work by Heinisch to get out of that. Nice knee to the thigh. Oh, nice somersault by Heinisch, trying to get out of this clinch. Carlos Jr. was trying to get onto the back of Heinisch. Think he was looking for a rear naked choke. Yeah, a really good point there by the commentators. Great grip strength here. Carlos Jr. has had this clinch on for a while. Another roll by Heinisch, desperately trying to get out of this clinch. He cannot get out of it. And now Carlos Jr. trying to mount Heinisch. 2 minutes left in this first round. Heinisch in a bit of trouble here. Good takedown by Carlos Jr. He's had more total strikes thrown. 3 significant strikes. He's looking to take Heinisch down for a second time. 1 minute 30 on the clock, and he does. He gets that second takedown. Second takedown for Carlos Jr. Yeah, I can't see if he's got a choke on. Heinisch back up to his feet. This has got to be wearing him down. Is that a third takedown? It is, you know. Third takedown for Carlos Jr. He's all over him. He's trying to transition. Carlos Jr. has controlled 3 minutes of this round. 3 minutes 11. Dominant. He is trying to get that rear naked choke. Oh, guillotine! Guillotine! Heinisch trying to escape. Did very well there. He's just got to hold on for 20 seconds. Carlos Jr. getting a guillotine choke on. And now Heinisch actually throwing in a left hand. Just kind of jabs at the head of Heinisch. Couple of shots coming down from Carlos Jr. and that'll be that for round one. Dominant round by Carlos Jr. Absolutely dominated. Exactly what we thought was going to happen happened. 3 takedowns. I've got to admit, I'm surprised that he managed to get 3 takedowns. I'm probably even more surprised he didn't finish the fight. 3 takedowns in that first round. And he could not put that fight away. Hello, dat boy who goes ahoy. Hope you are well, my friend. Dream fight. Jacare versus Robbie Lawler in 6-7 minutes rounds. There is no always perfect strategy, but a weakness can be used against you if you don't watch out. Good point. Very good point. Okay, here we go. Both guys stepping in to the center of the octagon. This, of course, is in the middleweight division. Into the second round. It was all Carlos Jr. in that first. 3 takedowns. I'm sure we're going to see more takedowns in this second round. Heinisch throwing in a couple of shots. It's exactly what he needs to do. Keep that distance. Beautiful kick to the head there by Heinisch. Kick back though by Carlos Jr. These two just trading kicks at the moment. Carlos Jr. stepping forward with a beautiful left hand. Not a great deal landing. You can see there's not a great deal of difference between the two when it comes to total strikes and significant strikes. Heinisch is definitely doing a better job in this round. Staying on his feet, keeping his distance, firing in a couple of kicks. Not allowing Carlos Jr. to get that takedown. Carlos Jr. I think just got caught in the eye with a glove, edge of a glove. Yeah, nice level change. Just ducks down, round the back. He's got a clinch now, Carlos Jr. Heinisch charged in a little bit too quick there. Roll by Heinisch. But Carlos Jr. staying on him. He's on his back. And Carlos Jr., I think, is going to try and control this. This is not where Heinisch wants to be again. Simple. He's looking for that choke, is he? He's just jockeying for position. Both guys on their feet, still in the clinch. 2 minutes 20 on the clock. Heinisch up against the cage. Firing in an elbow. It's not a great deal happening, but Carlos Jr. is controlling this all the time. Heinisch is down on the judges' cards. Heinisch, I think, was holding on to the... Another takedown! But Heinisch pops straight back up. And actually, Heinisch now is on top of Carlos Jr. Not sure if they're going to count that as a takedown because he did pop straight back up. Just looking to see if they're counting it. I don't think they will. I don't think Carlos Jr. was really in control of it. Carlos Jr. finds himself on his back with Heinisch on top of him, firing some shots into the head. They don't look like there's a great deal of power behind them. What is Carlos Jr. going to do here? I would say Heinisch is controlling this part of the round with a minute to go in the second. Need to have a look and see if there's any news on Deontay Wilder at the moment. Obviously, that fight's happening as well. Heinisch is unloading on Carlos Jr. It has turned a little fire for Heinisch. This is exactly what Heinisch needed. He needed a bit of a flurry. And that's exactly what he's got. He's really taken advantage of his moment when he had Carlos Jr. down. I would say Heinisch is level now in this fight. He's really going for this. Great round for Heinisch. Absolutely dominating on total strikes. Carlos Jr. was controlling the first part of that round, but he managed to flip it, Heinisch, and then he was on top, and then he just kept firing in shots. Weren't doing a great deal. There wasn't a great deal of power behind him, but you can see he has absolutely pulled away. 68 total strikes to 20. It's going to be an interesting final round, a very interesting final round. Just showing an elbow there from Heinisch. Some beautiful strikes. That flurry from Heinisch towards the end of the round, I think, has really put him back into this. These guys are probably pretty level right now. Right, here we go. Round 3. This has been a great fight. Kick, beautiful strike by Carlos Jr. Oh, down goes Heinisch. I don't think it was anything from Carlos Jr. I think he just lost his footing. I didn't see Carlos Jr. land anything. Heinisch is charging forward, though. Heinisch seems to have the advantage when it comes to the two of them trading strikes. Carlos Jr., I think, has got the advantage when they're down on the ground. Just over 4 minutes left on the clock. Carlos Jr. needs to get a clinch on here. That's exactly what he does. Knee to the body. Oh, I think, is the ref saying that was low? The ref's come in and just broken them apart. They're saying it was a knee. Yeah, it was. It was a knee from Carlos Jr. to Heinisch. Landed too low. So a warning for Carlos Jr. in the third. No points deduction. Okay, back into the center. 3 minutes 55 on the clock. Carlos Jr. probably needs to... Oh, goes down. Carlos Jr., I think that was... I think he just lost his footing. There's like a guillotine choke on here by Heinisch. Heinisch doing a great job. He was absolutely battered in the first. Absolutely battered in the first. Knee as well, but Carlos Jr. catches it. Carlos Jr. has got 3 minutes 20 here to get himself back into this fight. So I really feel like he's down on the judges' cards now. Heinisch has done a great job. Heinisch avoiding a takedown. Both guys up against the cage. Heinisch on one leg. Carlos trying to get that takedown. 2 minutes 50 on the clock. Carlos has got a clinch on Heinisch. He's looking for the takedown. He can't do it. Carlos Jr. goes down instead. This might go the distance here. 2 minutes 30 left. Let me know in the chat who you think is going to win this one. I feel like it's got to be Heinisch. Heinisch, I mean, look at the number of strikes he's thrown. I know not a great deal have been significant, but still. I know he's down on takedowns as well, but he had the better of the second round, and I honestly think he's had the better of the third. Less than 2 minutes on the clock. Carlos Jr. is on his back. Heinisch is on top. Really, really interesting fight. Carlos Jr. though reversing. He's looking for an arm triangle. Total strikes 58-7 in the second. I think it was like 33-7 so far in the third for Heinisch. Both guys getting back up to their feet. 1 minute 20. Carlos trying to get a guillotine. They're really just all over the place, these two. Constantly jockeying for position. No guy seems to be able to get the advantage. It's fascinating to watch. Really is fascinating to watch. Hammer fists coming down by Heinisch. 40 odd seconds to go, and I really feel like this is Heinisch's fight. Kind of a very close with control time, but Heinisch getting the advantage. Slight advantage in the second. Bit more of an advantage in the third. Carlos Jr. dominated the first. 20 odd seconds to go. I think Heinisch quite happy here. He's on top. He is staying busy. He's firing shots down. There's really nowhere for Carlos Jr. to go. Heinisch just pounding away. Look at that. Look at the total number of strikes. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Heinisch doing a great job there. Goes the distance. I think Heinisch certainly thinks that he won. Winner of round 3 wins. Well, that was Heinisch. Heinisch wins. Let's find out. It's going to go to decision. We're going to have to go to the judges' scorecards for this one. Great fight, though. Really great fight. Really enjoyed it. But I definitely feel like Heinisch gets the victory on this one. He should do. Heydays just got off night shift. Tough day for me and Tasha. I've learned being paramedic is an emotional job sometimes. Yeah, very much so. Tough job. We're going to get that official decision next, my friends. Carlos Jr. versus Heinisch. If you have just joined us, Carlos Jr. dominating that first round. I think he had like 3.5 minutes of control time, maybe even 4 minutes of control time. But Heinisch came back, 55 strikes to 7 in that second round, and probably about the same in the third. Got 1 takedown, so it was 4 takedowns to 1. Dominated total strikes and significant strikes. I would go with Heinisch. Capital G says, sounded like a good fight. It was, dude. It was. Jason C thinks it'll be a Heinisch via unanimous decision. This was our co-main event, so we've still got one more fight to go. RDA versus Kevin Lee. Should be a very good fight. Both guys think they've won it. Both guys have got their arms up. Here we go. Judges' scorecard. Unanimous. Ian Heinisch. Unanimous decision. I tell you what, he deserves that clap. He deserves that applause to come back into that fight after that first round. He was absolutely dominated in that first. Whatever his strategy was, did not work in that first round. Yeah, great. Brilliant. Heinisch with the victory. Just talking about his strategy. Just showing some of the moments that he caught Carlos Jr. in there. Cool. So that takes us to the main event, my friends. So main event time, RDA versus Kevin Lee. Very interesting fight. The reason I say that, both guys are minus 115. I honestly can't recall a fight where both guys had the same odds. So this is very, very close. Very hard to call. Either guy could win this. I've gone with Kevin Lee. But RDA could be victorious. RDA has got great strength with his kicks and his striking. He's very fast, very explosive. Good double leg takedown as well, which, Kevin Lee is going to have to try and defend against quite a bit. He's in there against someone that can strike and take down. But Kevin Lee has got a great wrestling style. He's also got a big reach advantage. And not only that, he's been changing his stance a lot recently. So it makes it very hard to fight against him because he's constantly switching up his stance. And as we said, he's got that reach advantage. It means that he can deliver some very long-range punches. That could be a big advantage in this fight. So, hard one to call. It wouldn't surprise me if people say RDA will emerge victorious. I've gone with Lee. And I think we're in for a bit of a treat. I think we're going to get a great fight now. I mean, we just had a great fight anyway. But I think this is going to be something a little bit special, a little bit tasty. Let's change the text over. First round. So, RDA versus Lee. And this is at welterweight, which is very important. I think this is Lee's first fight at welterweight. He's moving from lightweight to welterweight. I think this could probably go the distance. It's going to be that close. Dat boy who goes ahoy says RDA all the way. Benji UK says WWE finally leaving Sky after 30 years because they are not happy about the pay-per-view business and sales. BT Sport it is, yep. Well, I mean, that's a big part of the business for Sky to lose. And then not only that, you've got the decline in the ratings. I suppose Sky just feel it's time for a change. Where do you watch it on? I watch it on BT Sport. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe. We're back every week for the UFC. This isn't a one-off. We do this every single week. We will be back for next week's show. And, of course, tomorrow, WWE Money in the Bank. One of the biggest WWE shows of the year. They say it's part of the top 5, the big 5. So you've got Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, and of course Money in the Bank. Well, Money in the Bank is tomorrow. It's going to be a big stream. We start just before the kickoff show, which actually I need to have a look and see what time that is. I'm not too sure what time that is, but we will start just before, like 10 minutes before the kickoff show, something along those lines. Yeah, should be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to it. They're just showing RDA some of his previous fights. Right, let's flip it over. Just showing Kevin Lee now training for this fight. UK is lucky. AEW is £14 on ITV. Over in the States, it's $50. I heard that. I know. And obviously, we had the news earlier that Pac is out. So we won't be getting to see Pac, aka Neville. He wasn't happy with the planned finish for his fight, so that's I think a big loss for AEW, because $50 was a big ask, and now no Pac, who is a name. He was definitely a draw. People were definitely going to be tuning in to see him compete. But we turn our attention back to the UFC. We turn our attention back to the main event. RDA versus Lee. Days, do you think Money in the Bank will be better than Fastlane? Yes. I do. Here comes Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee says he hasn't given a real performance for himself yet. And that's exactly what he wants to come in and do here. Let's see what Kevin Lee can do. I've gone with Lee on this one. Let me know your predictions. I've seen a few people predicting RDA. Kevin Lee looking good though. John Moxley is in AEW. We've not had that confirmed. That's just a rumor at the moment. Jake Hager, I think, saying that he didn't want to... I think it was Jake Hager saying that he didn't want to go over to AEW. He didn't want to ruin John Moxley's debut. Takedowns in 13 of 14 UFC fights. This is his welterweight debut. 8 wins by submission. 5 come in via rear naked choke. I think he feels better. Like, welterweight suits him. Bruce Lee all the way. Capital G saying, let's go Lee. Yeah, five rounds. It's going to be interesting to see who's got the better cardio. That could play a factor. Okay, so Kevin Lee is in the octagon. Just waiting for RDA to make his ring walk now. And then it will be time for the main event. And here he comes. How many minutes until the fight begins? 6? Something like that. Although saying that, RDA is running to the octagon. He's not waiting around. Rank number 3 at the moment. Coming off a couple of losses. Okay, he's just getting checked over outside the octagon. So, former UFC lightweight champion, 9 first-round finishes, second highest striking accuracy in UFC welterweight history. We said he was a great striker. We said he was very strong with his kicks as well. Very fast, very explosive, very accurate. And he's, as said, got that great double leg takedown. So, he's got a lot of tools. But how is he going to do against Kevin Lee? I was shocked when Time Warner said it was paying for AEW TV production. WWE don't get that. Glad Rick and Morty Season 4 starts in November. WWE do get a lot of money, though, from their TV deals. I'm not sure AEW is getting that kind of support. So it is getting some support, but I'm not sure how great that deal is. Kevin Lee, 77 inches on his reach. RDA, 70 inches. That's a big advantage for Kevin Lee. Khabib versus GSP. Who do you think would win in that fight? I would go with Khabib. I mean, GSP in his prime might be a different factor, but I think if that fight was to happen now, I'd go with Khabib. I'll take RDA, moneyline bet, $100. It's a close one. It's really close. It's a really interesting fight. Main event time. RDA in Octagon now. Who is better, Jake Paul or Deji? I think Jake Paul won, didn't he? In their fight. Kevin Lee might just be slight favourite now. I think that's because I picked him. I think Vegas has been listening to the stream and they have now made Kevin Lee slight favourite. Do you think DC could take John Jones at heavyweight? It'd be interesting. It's a fight I would love to see. Again. I feel like it's a fight we might see, actually. It's one of the biggest fights that UFC could make. Who is better, Logan Paul or KSI? I felt like KSI was going to win that first fight, so I'll go with KSI. But the rematch is in America, so that might just swing it back to Logan Paul's favour. But anyway, we are into round one. We are underway. 5 rounds of action, and this is fast. These guys have come out hot. Lee is certainly on the front foot at the moment. Beautiful head kick there. Big one too. Knocked down by Lee. RDA pops straight back up, and then Lee goes for a takedown. Big moment there. So, a takedown already. Lee on the back of RDA. I mean, RDA has fired in a couple of shots as well. Finds himself, though, in a bad situation. He's got Lee on his back, but he is finding a way out. Ooh, nice roundhouse left by Lee. Great explosive start to this. Kick from Lee to the body. Miss from RDA. Tangling in the centre. Great first minute. Lee just looks jacked, man. He looks the bigger fighter of the two. Charging RDA back. Lee is putting pressure on here. Everything that you expect to see from RDA, that pressure, that explosiveness, we're seeing it from Lee. Lee is taking the fight to RDA, and he has currently got him pinned up against the side of the octagon. I would say that was early advantage to Lee. And he's dominating this so far, or controlling it anyway. He's got RDA pinned up against cage. He's not doing a great deal with him, though. He's looking for that takedown. He's already done one. Can he get a second? RDA firing in a couple of shots to the head. Still pinned up against the side of the octagon. Knee to the body from RDA. It's an interesting strategy, actually, from Lee, because potentially he's got to go 5 rounds. So it looks like neither guy wants this to go the distance. Looks like they're both going to go for a finish. And they're still tangled up. They've both got each other in a clinch. 2 minutes left in this first round. Welterweight main event. Knee to the body from RDA. Couple of shots coming in from RDA. Lee has just controlled this. He's took the sting out of the start. RDA's done all right, though, considering he's been backed up against the octagon. He's been able to get a few shots in. Ooh, he goes down. RDA goes down. Don't know if he slipped or if Lee managed to catch him. We'd need to see a replay of that. Certainly feel like Lee's got more power in his shots. He certainly looks the bigger guy. Head kick misses by RDA. RDA coming forward. Knee to the body. I feel like this is a Lee round. It's not really showing itself in the numbers. I suppose more significant strikes for Lee. Very even on total strikes. Takedown, though, by RDA. That's a big moment. Evening up the takedowns. Looking for a guillotine choke. This is a bad place for Lee to be in. 13 seconds on the clock. Gets back up. Very good work. We're into the final few seconds of this first round. And that is it. The end of the first. Very interesting stuff. I would say that Lee is probably the one that's got the advantage there so far. Hello, Imtiaz. You've just joined us for the main event. So thank you so much for dropping by. It's been an interesting show, actually. It's been a lot of fun. Not the best looking card, but it's been all right. Not sure people will be watching Money in the Bank. Last ever episode of Game of Thrones is on. I don't know. I suppose there's a lot of kids that watch WWE. Not sure too many kids are going to be that into Game of Thrones. I gotta be honest, I've never watched an episode of it, so it certainly wouldn't bother me. See you tomorrow, Chris Rogers. Right, we're into the second round. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe. RDA in the clinch again. Lee has got RDA backed up against that cage. Kind of a repeat of what we saw most. Oh, beautiful takedown. There's a big lock on, but he manages to get out of it. I'm struggling to see that this is going to go the distance here. These two are throwing an awful lot at each other. Up against the cage again. Back to the centre. Kick and a miss by Lee. RDA looking for another takedown. Gets it. I feel like RDA's done much better in this round. 3 minutes 10 on the clock. We're in the second round. That's a really good point, see, wrestling. I kind of feel that way. Less than 3 minutes here. Lee is the one that is backed up against the cage this time. RDA controlling this fight a little better. Definitely having the better of this second round. Both guys, though, in the middle of the octagon, trading blows. Head kick by Lee. Beautiful rights straight down the middle. Kick to the body. Throwing in a few combos here. Lee just trying to put that pressure back on. RDA looking for the arm. It has been non-stop. As I said, I'm really struggling to see this one go in the distance. It's been quite fast-paced, quite hard-hitting. There's been a lot thrown. They've pinned each other against the cage. Kind of sapped each other's energy. RDA looking for a Kimura lock. Into a guillotine. Lee back up onto his feet though. RDA with a clinch. It's RDA that's pinned up against that cage. 1 minute 20 on the clock. I feel like this could be an RDA round. Looking for a takedown. Both guys jockeying for position. Both guys have got 2 takedowns each. It's a very, very even fight. And actually, I think we're seeing that. I feel like you could say that Lee took the first. Maybe RDA took the second. Not much in this. Really not much in this. He's got the leg. Lee still got RDA pinned up against the octagon. Now they're trading a few blows. 40 seconds on the clock. Beautiful. Right jab. Head kick by Lee. They break apart. Kick to the body. Nice flurry. Roundhouse right by Lee. Lee looking for a single leg takedown. Can't quite get it. Can't quite get it. 20 seconds on the clock. All he can do is drive RDA back. Interesting stuff. Really interesting stuff. Into the final seconds of this round. You've been all over the country this week. I'm not surprised. I have. It's been a manic week. Gotta be honest. Nice to be back home though. Very nice to be back home. Lee's got no power. Interesting point. Just trying to hear what they're saying to him in the corner as we head into the third round. Two really interesting rounds. Intent Chief, thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate the support. Thanks, dude. Right, here we go then. RDA against Kevin Lee. Coming forward. Ooh, RDA straight in with a knee to the body. We're into the third round. Lee's firing back. Couple of jabs. Not a great deal landing. RDA has thrown more. But Lee has had more significant strikes. Oh, beautiful body kick by Lee. Beautiful kick. This is such an interesting fight. Lee standing his ground in the center of the octagon. Neither guy can really find a way through. Takedown by RDA. Takedown by RDA. Center of the octagon. Yeah, people are saying Kevin Lee looks like he's starting to fade. He was very hot at the start of this fight. Feel like he's going to be in trouble as this continues. How is he going to fight out of this? Both guys back up to their feet. Knees to the midsection though by RDA. RDA driving. Kevin Lee back. RDA is looking for a single leg takedown. Oh, Lee round the back is looking for a rear naked. He's just managed to get round the back. RDA's got his arm through. And I don't think Kevin Lee can get it quite under the chin. RDA moving around, managing to get out. Oh, he did so well. He was in trouble. RDA was in trouble. So good. So good. He did so well to get out of that. And now he's actually reversing it here. He is the one that's on the back of Lee. 2 minutes 30 on the clock in this third round. Knees getting fired in by RDA. He's got Lee pinned up against the cage now. This thing is back and forth. It's a hard one to call because they're just constantly moving. Takedown by RDA. Not sure if... Yeah, he did. They've counted it. 4 takedowns to 2. And RDA has had more strikes now. More takedowns. Lee seems to be tiring. This is definitely swinging towards RDA. I feel like if Lee is going to get success here, he's going to have to finish the fight. This thing could sleepwalk its way to a decision for RDA. Feel like RDA is probably up on the judges' scorecards right now. Lee's got to do something. 1 minute 25 on the clock. Lee driving his shoulder into the midsection of RDA. I think he might... Has he got a takedown there? Yep. Takedown for Kevin Lee. Wasn't a dramatic takedown. Lee round the back of RDA. Got him in a clinch. They're both up against the cage. Lee looking for another takedown. This is so close. Beautiful. RDA out though. RDA was in a bit of trouble. 18 seconds to go in this third round. Lee back up on his feet. 10 seconds. And that's it. Wow. Really great. Really, really great fight. One of the hardest fights to call. That was the end of the third. Hard fight to call because they are constantly jockeying for position. And they're driving their shoulders into each other. Before you know it, they flipped it round. Constantly looking for rear naked chokes. Guillotines. We had a Kimura lock earlier as well. So many different submission attempts. It's really, it's such an interesting fight. Really is an interesting fight. And if you look at total strikes, you got 79 for RDA, 54 for Kevin Lee. So RDA is up on total strikes, but Kevin Lee is up on significant strikes. And both of them have got 4 takedowns each. I feel like if the fight was to end now, RDA wins. It does feel like Lee is tiring, but we are into the 4th round, and honestly, one moment could change everything because it is that close. Both guys in the center of the octagon, firing in rights and lefts. Kick from Lee to RDA. RDA just takes it, standing his ground, looking for an opening. Couple of right and left jabs. Just looking to see if Lee is changing his stance. Because he has done that in previous fights. Just to try and make it harder. Oh, big kick, but I think it was low. Referee comes straight in. I think Lee with a kick there. I think he caught RDA. Okay, ref saying that you both kicked at the same time, so it was an accident. 4 minutes 10. These two trading blows at the moment, trading shots. Missed uppercut there by RDA. Both guys in the center of the octagon again. Oh, kick! Beautiful kick! Takes away Lee's base. He drops down to one knee for a second. Gets back up and shakes his head to say, nah, not today. Takedown, clinch attempt by Lee. I think that's a big moment though. Great kick from RDA. Lee's knee buckled. Lee though having to respond here by getting RDA up against that cage. He's trying to get his arm underneath. He's looking for that rear naked choke. RDA knows that. He's grabbed hold of his arm. The two tussle, break apart, go back into the center. Kick from Lee. 3 minutes on the clock. Kick from RDA to the leg. This time Lee stands firm. You can see that Lee has taken quite a few shots to the head. There's a bit of bruising now on the face of Lee. Lee driving his shoulder into the midsection of RDA. Driving him back, pushing him back. He's got him pinned up against the cage. Such an interesting fight. 2 minutes 30 on the clock. 50-50 fight. 4 takedowns each. More total strikes for RDA. More significant strikes for Lee. We are deep into the 4th. They break apart again. You can see that Lee is tired. Lee looks the more tired. He seems to be breathing a little heavier. RDA standing his ground in the middle, driving Lee back. Kick from Lee to the body. Lee now trying to drive RDA back. Neither guy just not getting takedowns at the moment. Lee kind of takes himself down. He finds himself on his back. RDA jumps on top. I think that was a mistake by Lee. I think he's just getting tired now. He is on the bottom. He's got RDA on top of him. Side control. Lee taps. Lee taps. RDA with the victory. I honestly think that came about because Lee got tired. I think Lee got tired. He weathered that early storm. It was, they're just showing a replay here. It was a takedown attempt by Lee. He couldn't execute it. He ended up going down onto his own knees. RDA took advantage of that, jumped on top, got the position that he wanted. Yeah. And he has to tap. RDA getting his arm under the chin of Lee. We'll get the official decision coming up, but it's a big win for RDA. Thanks a lot, Retro Rocky. Really do appreciate the support, dude. Really do. Thank you. Brad says, my man RDA wins. Never going to lose 3 straight. Yeah, he wasn't coming into this with the best record, was he? But I got to say, he looked good here. He looked good. Lee, it's not an easy fight. I do think Lee gassed himself out, though. RDA takes the W. He absolutely does. We're just going to go back for the official decision. Here we go then, my friends. Back to Rochester for what has been a very good card, actually. I've enjoyed it. So, 4th round. Didn't go the distance in the end. 3 minutes 47. Into the 4th. So, winner by arm triangle. Ten wins by submission. Let's hear what he's got to say. Man, you should see the ear of RDA. It is absolutely butchered. That's one of the worst looking ears. He has got proper cauliflower ears there. Huge. They're like all swollen out. That one's really red as well. He must have taken some real damage there in this fight. Kevin Lee still probably thinks he's one fight away from a title shot. Great card. Really thought it was going to be average, but was blown away from the prelims to the main. The first fight was crazy on the prelims. I didn't see all of the prelims. I saw the last few fights. Really impressed. I really like Aspen Lee as well. I'm a big fan of Aspen Lee. So I was pleased she got the victory over Eubanks. Just showing some replays here from RDA. He should have gone for both legs. Lee's lack of power didn't slow down RDA. Good fight. I agree. It was a good fight. I agree. He looked better on the ground, RDA. Is he going to call anyone? No. RDA doesn't call anyone out. Says he'll be happy with anyone. Rafael Dos Santos, well done. Very cool, dude. Very, very cool. Wow, there we go then, guys. That was UFC Rochester. Thank you for joining us. Is it Rochester or Rochester? I feel like it's Rochester. UFC Fight Night 152. Let's go with that instead. Yeah, really interesting show in the end. We got some really fun finishes. They were competitive fights. Or a couple of them were. A couple of them not that competitive, but we got some good finishes. And it was fun overall. We're back again tomorrow for Money in the Bank, WWE, one of the biggest shows of the year for them. And then back for Raw, back for SmackDown, and then we're back next week for UFC. Thank you so much for everyone that joined us. Really do appreciate the support. We're here every single week. Make sure you hit that subscribe if you haven't already and you want to join us again. And hopefully we do see you again. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.